So what's good, Straw Gang, and welcome back to another video. Now, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be discussing the scrapped Blackout 2.0, the unfinished, the never completed Blackout 2.0. Now, yes, this is not a speculation video. I actually have gameplay right in front of me of the Ural Mountains map that was rumored to be coming to Warzone, and then instead we got the 1984 Verdansk. When the map did get revamped, is that we thought we were going to get a whole new map change, when in the first place, Ural Mountains was never actually planned for Warzone, from what I can guess, because there's literally a Blackout 2.0 that I'm looking at right now, and unfortunately I cannot show you the gameplay first of all because I don't want my channel getting yeeted. Second of all, the link that was on Vimeo by one of the leakers, which I'll leave his Twitter in the description or in the pinned comment, the video he'd put up of the gameplay actually got taken down by Activision for infringement and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm going to talk about that later on. Keep that in mind that it was taken down for infringement. Some of you can guess what I may have to say about that. Alright guys, so just a quick update as I'm recording this. I just found out that Nanikos, who is the leaker, actually updated the video link as it got taken down. You know, I mentioned that on Mega about 10 hours ago and it got taken down pretty quickly as well. So they are definitely on to making sure that this gameplay doesn't get out to any more people than it already has. There's something going on here. For now, I want to talk about and describe the actual gameplay, what I'm seeing, and pretty much just paint a picture of the gameplay itself. Okay, so for the start of the gameplay here, the player is pretty much just running through the Ural Mountains map, right? Like this whole thing that everyone speculated about and all the stuff, it's literally just in front of me. I'm looking at this dude running through the Ural Mountains map. Now, first of all, the one thing I noticed was the HUD. It's pretty much like an updated Blackout Cold War type of HUD. It's got Cold War fonts and everything like that, but obviously it has the Blackout feel to it. You know, it's got the player count up in the top right, which is only him, and then it's got the kills, which is 0 because there's no one else in the game. So this gameplay is heavily watermarked as well, so obviously no one can take credit for that. So there's certain things that are a little bit hard to see, but you know, pretty easy anyway. The HUD is Cold War and Blackout kind of merged together. So the biggest piece of information and the most, you know, I guess convincing information that this map existed was the TAC map itself, which was actually redrawn or recreated in Paint, I believe, and that was pretty much just an image that I'll put up on screen. Yes, that was recreated, redrawn of what was supposed to be this map, and that came completely true with the gameplay I'm seeing right in front of me. I'm looking at it, so basically in the middle of the map-ish, I guess, is the location Ruka. To the top left is Golova, top right is Mines, then the bottom right is Weather Station and ski slopes, a little bit to the left of Weather Station. Then just below Ruka is Zoo, and then off to the bottom left is Sanatorium. Now there is quite a few, like I said, watermarks on this, so some things are harder to read and make out, but this recreation, this redrawing of the map definitely was true. So the next thing we're going to go on to is the looting system. The looting system did not get changed, you know, because of Warzone's loadouts and everything like that. This still had the same floor loot looting system as Blackout. The mode is pretty much like Blackout, but with Cold War weapons, as you'd assume. I'm looking at an MP5 on the ground right now with some ammo next to it, and it is just the same as in Blackout, the same type of looting system. Currently the player has an MP5 equipped, which is MP5 / small caliber, and then there's the M16A2 large caliber, and then the UI here pretty much has the ammo slot on the top left, and then on the top right there is your primary and secondary. So like kind of bottom left-ish is the plates and perks, and then along the bottom is the inventory. So that's the you know, the UI as best as I can explain it. Now, judging by this gameplay, you can absolutely tell that the devs were pretty much just told to stop working on this altogether or put it to the side for later, because I mean, as I'm watching the gameplay right now, the map's not filled in. He's falling through the floor. There's holes in the map. You know, textures are popping up and going away. Trees are just appearing out of nowhere. Buildings don't look complete and properly filled in, and like the map was definitely stopped, you know, in development at some point because of Warzone's success, which is really unfortunate. Like, I understand that, you know, to them it probably doesn't make sense to, you know, bring up another Battle Royale when Warzone is doing so good, and just to put all the time into that. Now at this point in the gameplay, the player has made it to the ice rink. There is streaks on the ground as well. I can see what looks to be a pink VTOL on the ground, and it says F to equip VTOL escort, so it's like a pink VTOL for some reason, and then when he picks it up, it says Victor 738 Golden Wolverine. So obviously that's like the in-game code or code name for it or whatever, I don't know. Now yet again, going back to what I said about the textures, currently the player is walking through water that is see-through, so it looks like he's just walking on normal ground, but it's water and he's like swimming at the same time. It's super weird. The textures were not filled in, and this map was definitely stopped in development at one point. It's just, there's a lot of unfinished things in this. Now watching the rest of this gameplay here, there's nothing really significant that I'm noticing, to bring up to you guys and mention. The last thing here, pretty much at the end of the gameplay, is he brings out the iPad for the VTOL, and it's just a blank screen. Nothing shows up. The streak can't be used for 15 seconds, so I guess the game thinks he's not playing, or the match is still starting or something, I'm not too sure. And that's pretty much the end of the gameplay. Now on to part 2 of this video. I'm going to be discussing what Blackout 2.0 could look like as a polished and finished game. Now the first thing that I can say right off the bat is I can almost guarantee that this is going to be a free-to-play Battle Royale. Obviously Blackout was Call of Duty's first Battle Royale in Black Ops 4 that, it caught some attention and some traction, right? But it wasn't on the level of Warzone because of, the fact that it was free to play. So I can guarantee that after seeing how well Warzone did, if Blackout 2.0 does get polished and finished and released for, for all of us to play, it most definitely will be free to play. There's no way they'd see the success of Warzone and kind of how mediocre Blackout's success was and just make it, tied behind a paywall. Second of all, I would really like Treyarch to look at what Warzone did right and take that and put it into a Blackout as well. Now, obviously, like I said, there was already floor loot. Whether that could change or not is obviously, up for discussion. But what I've seen so far is that there is floor loot and it'll work the same way as Blackout did. So we won't be having loadout drops for everyone who doesn't like the class setup loadout drop system. Personally, I'm a fan of either of them. I like both of them, so it doesn't really matter for me. But I would like to see a possible buyback system, not necessarily a gulag, but something like a buy store, some type of buyback system, UAVs, contracts, your bounties and everything like that, because that's what Warzone did right to be able to keep games going, keep the action and keep the flow of the games going, being able to keep that cash flow for UAVs, streaks, whatever it may be. It just added an element to the game that allowed it to be a lot more, a lot more hectic. So those were just some thoughts about the game and what it could look like when it releases, learning from, Warzone and taking certain aspects from Warzone and merging that in as well. Going on to part 3 of this video, I'm going to be briefly talking about the likelihood of it being released. Now, I'm no expert on this type of stuff, I've never done a video like this before. I don't really know the likelihood of it being released, of course. Like I said, and from a business perspective, in their mind, it probably doesn't make any sense to release it because Warzone is the top dog right now. That's what's bringing them revenue. It is the top dog, the main focus. We can all tell that because multiplayer just isn't getting the attention it normally would. It's getting a bit neglected, and you can just see that their main focus is most definitely Warzone. So that's kind of what makes me think we either won't see this for a while or at all, which would absolutely suck. I don't want that to happen, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree as well. Even if you didn't like Blackout that much, another Battle Royale experience to play and just switch between with Warzone, especially for streamers and content creators, will be a really fun thing to do. Part 4 of this video is going to be one of the more interesting ones, I think, and that is the Activision infringement takedown on the Vimeo, and now, that I found out about the Mega Link as well. So 2 takedowns from the same person, and the Mega Link was taken down a lot quicker than Vimeo as well. I think the Vimeo one was up for possibly a day or 2, and then the Mega one just got, just almost instantly shut down. It was very, very quick. So clearly, they don't want this getting out, right? Like, there's something that they don't want the people to see, which is the gameplay, and for whatever reason, I mean, me personally, right, we've seen in the past when things get taken down, we assume it's real. I remember when Warzone's like cover art, before it was actually even announced, a picture of the cover art got put up on Reddit, and that got taken down, and that obviously circulated a lot of rumors that it's real and that Warzone is coming, because why else would they take it down, right? If it was fake, they'd have no reason to keep it from being seen by the public, and that's kind of the way that I look at any type of thing that Activision takes down. Whenever they take something like that down, I fully believe instantly they either have plans to release it or that it's coming very soon. Now, of course, the argument you could make is that it's, their property, it's what they don't want people to see. It might never end up being released, but just because it's their property and they own that, they have the rights to take it down and they don't want people to see it. That would be like if I didn't plan to release a video, I still wouldn't want people seeing it because I have planned to not release it for a reason, but I just, it's like, would they really care at that point? I don't think so. Like, if they're not going to release it, they're not going to make money off it, it's pretty much a wasted, lost, worthless piece of work, looking at it from the perspective that they're not going to release it. So that's why I think they do have plans in some way or shape or form to release this in the future. So with all of that being said and done, that is going to wrap up the discussion and commentary about the Ural Mountains and possibly scrapped Blackout 2.0 Battle Royale. I hope that we get this game. Leave your feedback and thoughts down in the comment section. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people who have things to say and opinions and all that type of stuff, and I'd be very happy to read some of them because this is something I'm very invested in. I really hope that, within the coming months, maybe, 5 or so months, we get an update about this and, new things come out about the possible release of this. That would be really awesome because, like I said, I'd love to have another Battle Royale to switch between with Warzone and everything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content from me, don't forget to hit that red sub button down below with post notifications on and drop a like on the video as well. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody, and I'm out.